The Muslim world needs to be liberated, not from Zionism first, but from the allies of Zionism, who believe that it is better to bring Israel to bomb Damascus than it is to allow Ahmad al-Shara to assert himself in Suwaida, who believe that it's better to bring the mercenaries into our countries and our lands to fight against our own people instead of relying on our people to protect them against the Americans, who believe it's better to bring NATO to bomb Libya than it is to go and get the Libyans to support them against Gaddafi instead, who believe it's better to bring NATO against Iraq than it is to find some sort of accord with Iraq and with the accorded people, who believe it's better to set up an Al-Udaid base to point at Saudi Arabia than it is to find an accord with Saudi Arabia, who believe it's better to bring military bases in Saudi Arabia to point towards Qatar and Iran than it is to find an accord with Iran, who believe that it's better to bring the foreign power and the Zionists against my brother because I would rather ally with the genocidal rabid army than I would with my own brother. That's the disaster with the Muslim world. It's not, I want the equation to be fixed. I want the X and the Y to be balanced, because the X is the same as it's always been. It's the Y that is broken. And if Bin Salman tomorrow picks up the phone and calls Erdogan and calls the rest of the Muslim leaders and tells them we're all withdrawing our ambassadors from Washington because we're making a stance on Gaza and we're putting on hold the $3.4 trillion that we're giving to the Americans, we're going to give it to South Africa instead because they took the case to the ICJ, I think Trump will come running and say to the Saudis, listen, it doesn't need to be this way. Netanyahu, do a ceasefire now.